Yes.
And we're live in theory.
Maybe.
I will definitely check this time because we thought we were live last week. And we straight up were not live at all. So let's go ahead and fire up Twitch here and make sure everything's... This laptop is full of your Scrapyard Wars crap.
Oh, that's because I wasn't also looking at it. I was specifically looking at it.
You were like, oh, I was also looking at... Yeah, no, I wasn't. This is the laptop you were using.
Yeah.
This is why I love you. Were you also looking at this graphics card?
I was.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay,
how about... wouldn't sell it to me for $20.
$20 for a 460? You're an idiot. Or more specifically, the guy you were trying to buy it from is not an idiot.
I think I said 25, and then he was like, no, 30, and I was like, I can't do it.
$30 for a 460 is pretty good.
I know.
Like, that's just you
Brandon
being
was like,
jerk.
what could you even do with that? I was like, a lot, actually. You could fairly easily play Battlefield 3.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
No, the 460 is not a terrible card.
Yeah.
All right, so we have quite a show for you guys. We do have topics, but we're probably also going to be teasing the crap out of
Scrapyard Wars.
The Reckoning.
The Scrappening.
Scrappening. That's actually pretty funny.
Okay,
I'll be right back. Hold on.
I don't think that was me. I can't take claim for that.
Oh, okay.
I think I read that on Twitter. That might have been Edsel or something. I think I stole that from someone. The Scrappening. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know where he went. I guess I can do the callouts. We've got Google I.O. happened, so they were showing off stuff like things that we'll talk about later. Also, 980 Ti is officially launching at Computex, potentially, and some Star Citizens assets leaked and the internet went quite crazy. And 2K is teasing a new game that could potentially be a new Bioshock. Which is cool because I've been benching Bioshock for years.
It's official. Scrapyard Wars 2, The Scrappening.
Nice.
I don't know whose idea it was, but I ripped that off hardcore. No one believes it's me, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What else we got?
I read a bunch of those types of things on Twitter, so I think I took it from someone, but I'm not sure.
Are we ready to roll the intro?
We are.
Boop boop. Hey, it worked.
Oh, did you reinstall it?
No, I didn't. Oh. I don't know why. It's magic. It's Christmas miracle. I love Christmas. This show is like my Christmas. Except my Christmas comes every Friday at 4:30 p.m. You know what's funny is people have finally stopped asking me what time the WAN show comes on.
That's an interesting point.
Yeah. I haven't had anyone ask me in forever. Our sponsors, Dollar Shave Club, Massdrop, and Circle Alt.
SquareSpace.
Right.
I see what you did there.
That was what I meant to say.
But no.
No, indeed.
Rectangle shift.
It's a rectangle.
Oh, jeez.
Guys, can you turn your speakers off?
Why is this computer lagging so hardcore? I'm on it.
Oh, okay. It has been quite the freaking week. So, Scrapyard Wars 2, The Scrappening, was scheduled from for the first 2.5 days to be, like, build off, and then the rest of the third day to be, like, the judging period. Okay? We ended up starting on Monday because we realized we had some crap to do later in the week, which, by the way, never got done, because it took the entire week, up until about 2 o'clock today, all day, every day, for Scrapyard Wars 2. I have no idea how many parts it'll be. The guidance I gave Ed on the editing side, editing, because he's Ed. I'm on fire today. The guidance I gave Ed on the editing side is I don't want episodes that are longer than... If I tell him 14 minutes, I'm going to end up with 16. And what I actually want is 15. So, like, this is...
13?
Is this the way most employer-employee relationships work? I have to say what I want, knowing that I'm not going to get it, but I might get something closer to what I really...
You. If we want you somewhere at a certain time, we tell you about half an hour before we actually want you there.
Right.
If it's like, oh, Linus needs to be doing this at 4:30, we'll be like, hey, Linus, you have to be doing this at 4.
Right. That makes sense. So I have no idea how many parts it's going to be. It depends on how many amazing moments there are. And I can tell you, having not tagged along for his side, there's already enough amazing moments for a heck of a lot of video.
Yeah.
But I have to say this now. If you guys don't appreciate it when we do stuff that's a little cringe,
don't watch it.
don't watch it.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be really entertaining content, but it's going to be do as we say, not as we do. Because there's a lot of not as we do, at least in my side.
I'm trying to not spoil things. Yeah, my side too.
Should we tell them the challenge? I mean, that only spoils the first, 20 seconds of the first part. Realistically.
Totally up to you.
What do you think?
I'm conflicted because
Okay.
it might make people not bother watch, but then it might also make people want to watch more.
Oh, I think it'll make people want to watch.
Then let's do it.
Yeah, okay. So the first part is coming out on Vessel Saturday night.
Before you keep going, I'm getting phantom chest mic now.
I'm still wearing mine.
Oh, wow. I can feel it, but it's not there.
We've been wearing lav mics for the entire
the whole
week.
week.
Okay, so part 1 is coming out on Vessel Saturday night, midnight Pacific. So Sunday morning, so the border between Saturday and Sunday Pacific time. And the theme is they have to be water cooled. They may not.
Okay, do you want to maybe don't give the dollar breakdown?
Yeah, sure, we can save the budgets. They have to be liquid cooled. They may not use any off-the-shelf PC liquid cooling components. And I don't mean buying them at a store. I mean, you cannot use something that's intended for PC water cooling.
So, you couldn't mount a computer fan on a radiator, because then that's using that fan to cool the radiator.
So, enjoy. Because, if you know what you know about how handy Luke and I are with tools, then you...
And, there's questionable availability of certain tools as well.
Yep. It wasn't clear going into the competition if we were allowed to buy tools, if that counted against our budget.
Yeah.
So, we definitely had some things. That's coming out on Vessel basically in about 36 hours, and then coming out on YouTube the following week, and then the parts will be weekly releases. So there will be no this series disappears after 3 parts.
Homeroom water cooling.
Like homeroom water cooling.
Yeah, so every Saturday.
Yeah, it's shot. It's in editing, and I have a lot of people ask, why does it take a week in between? Because of editing.
It takes a week to edit.
We have all the footage. Ed sits for an entire week and does nothing but edit Scrapyard Wars. And that episode that you guys see is a week's worth of one person's work. And a lot of people don't understand how much work it is to edit something like Scrapyard Wars.
Think about almost 8 hours of footage times 2 for 1 day of Scrapyard Wars. Just scrubbing through that footage alone, not even putting it together in an entertaining format, is going to take forever.
Yes, sir. So, guys, stay tuned, because I am pretty excited about this one. If you enjoy the cringiness, if you enjoy just the sheer entertainment factor, honestly, we did stuff we knew was wrong.
Oh, yeah.
But we had to try.
Time constraints, tool constraints.
Scrapyard Wars constraints.
Scrapyard Wars constraints. Financial constraints. We did a lot of stuff.
All right, so our first actual topic today is Google I/O is on. There's lots of exciting stuff going on. Alex Goes High has posted a mega thread for it, so
My
let's go
computer's
ahead and...
full derp, so I'll post that link in the thing as soon as I can.
It's okay. I will tell you what. I will grab that one.
I got
here.
it because it takes them a while to catch up anyways.
You sure?
So, yeah.
I'm here.
Then we'll press enter.
Okay. Okay, so what do we got here? So he's updating it as things go. Google and Android is everywhere. Truly the only global overlords of Earth. You can tell this is a forum post and not an article on The Verge or something along those lines. Although these are definitely some interesting stats here. Between Chrome, Android, and YouTube, They have each, so Search, Chrome, Android, and YouTube each have 1 billion users.
How do you have a user for search?
You could, I mean, it's Google.
But you don't have to be logged in.
What do they not know?
Search.
Yeah, but it's Google.
So are they counting like guests as users? Because that's weird.
Well, they can probably
doable.
tell, because people's IPs will change cyclically and stuff like that, and they
You
can
look
probably
at persistent login accounts and stuff the way they do targeted advertising.
Yep.
So like if you're logged into Gmail on that thing.
And if they have 1 billion Chrome users, then like probably those people all use search.
I'm not trying to say they have less than 1 billion.
Right.
I'm trying to say like how do you even quantify that? And they might have a lot more.
Probably a lot more.
Yeah.
Gmail has over 900 million and is closing on 1 billion fast. With that said, I personally have like half a dozen Gmail accounts.
I have a lot.
I don't know. I'm doing the Gmail to my kids thing from like the Gmail commercial.
So you are doing it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I wasn't doing it. And then when my second one was born and we were traveling in Asia, I realized that they were not going to remember anything about this trip. And I kind of went, well, they're not going to remember anything about most of their lives. And so I used to keep like a diary pretty much straight up. I had a diary through like most of high school. I called it a journal because I didn't want people to make fun of me. But let's face it, what's a journal? It's a diary. If you're man enough, you could admit you have a diary. So I had a diary in high school, and so I'm actually
This is why I asked to borrow the GoPro for when I go to Taiwan.
Oh.
Because when I came back
diary.
from Europe, I had decided, okay, I'm going to start keeping a travel log.
Yeah.
Like not a day-to-day journal for
Just
my whole life.
call it a travel diary.
Sure,
be a man.
travel diary.
Be a
I
man.
don't care. I think they're legitimately called travel logs. Because if you only use it for I don't know, sure, travel diary, I don't care. But I decided like I was going to do that. But now I think I'm just going to try to get everything on a GoPro.
Right.
And have a video version because I think that's cool. I don't have one yet at all. I never made one.
I don't know if I believe that. So we're gonna straw pull the crap out of this one, guys.
Is turnip going to become our thing?
Kids and ladies and gentlemen, does Luc Lafreniere have a diary?
I never even acquired one.
I think,
decided to go with a GoPro.
You know, the fact that you're just not man enough to admit it. 4% of the voters say no. 4%, my main man.
Well, 7.
7. Yes is running away with it, with Turnip destroying the no vote.
Is Turnip our new thing?
Turnip, we've always put in a random thing. Did I do Turnip twice?
You've done Turnip twice in a row.
Oh, I didn't mean to.
And remember we made Turnip like a huge deal last time.
No, turnips are just like...
Remember I like looked it up and like showed a turnip to the camera?
No,
stuff?
there was a book that I read as a kid that was, I think it's called Turnips for Supper or something like that. So I always think of turnips because like...
Because you read a book when you were a kid.
See?
That diary's working out for you.
That's the kind of thing that I want. So I want my kids to...
Do you remember when they read a book about a turnip?
No, that's not what I want. I want them to know things that I can't really tell them when they're 5.
Yeah.
But that they
and
will understand
I think
later.
it'll mean more having like potentially a video and
Yep.
your words at the time attached to it instead of like
Yes.
recalling the event.
So so every email I try to attach a couple pictures or a very short video clip.
Yeah.
And then I tell either stories about them or little things that they do or stories about what's going on in our lives because I figure one possibility, although it's up to them, is that we could read through them together. Or one possibility is that they'll sit and read them on their own. I don't know, but I figure...
And the thing is, you could read through them together, but then it could be a go-back resource for however long, which they might read by themselves.
Which is cool.
Yeah. It's like
or maybe their kids will read it.
Yeah, or that. It's like a modern scrapbook.
Yeah. So anyway, I decided to do that. Anyway, the point was I have a lot of Gmail accounts, because technically they can't own Gmail accounts, even though Google's commercial suggested that...
I have at least 20.
That you can do this. And then when I tried to put in their birthday, when I created the Gmail account, it was like, no, you may not. Okay, then. So over 4...
I think it's assumed that you have control of the account. So I think Google was like, well, the parent will make it, and it will be fine.
So, Android M preview. 6 main new features. Hopefully, one of them is better memory management. App permissions management. So you can actually manage each app's permissions individually, and apps will request permissions when they need, as opposed to on installation.
It's an iOS thing.
So that's, it's nice to have it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm just saying that's an iOS thing.
App links. So
like.
Android is smarter with web links now. Like a Twitter link on an email will immediately open Twitter instead of asking you what to do with it every freaking time. And like the funniest thing is when it's like a tweet that contains a YouTube link and you click it and it like opens up Twitter and then it goes away and then it like opens up YouTube once you've already got your defaults. Like, why are you doing this? Much better. Android Pay, creatively named, is the full replacement of Google Wallet. It uses NFC and host card emulation, and Google says it's about simplicity, security, and choice. Works with all 4 major credit card providers, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, and Discover, and will come pre-installed on AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile new devices. So they're going for pretty much widespread. I mean, what, Sprint remains?
All the things, yeah.
Who else is a major carrier in the States?
Does Sprint piggyback off someone?
No, Sprint's their own network.
Okay.
I think that's like pretty much it.
Yeah.
So it'll work in.
Doesn't T-Mobile piggyback off people?
No, they have their own network.
Okay.
So it'll work in 700,000 stores in the U.S. and also for purchasing. Blah 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 blah.
Is that 700,000? Like, if it works in McDonald's, is that counting all the McDonald's that are getting it?
I don't know.
Because that could be like a couple really big chains.
So Android Pay is not limited to Android M. However, NFC through fingerprint support is limited to M.
Which I think is kind of... I would want that.
I would straight up want that. With how good the fingerprint scanner is on the Galaxy S6, man, that's like friggin' awesome. Like the that access point, the video for which is coming out on YouTube at some point. It's already up on Vessel. Exclaim. Yeah. So it has app-based management and it supports signing in with your fingerprint on iOS, but not on Android. Man, it's nice. Fire up the app, boop, in, done. Love it. Improved power management and hardware support. So power consumption on Android, mainly with the introduction of DOS, which is a new feature that'll use the sensors on the device to kill background processes. Thank you! When in standby mode through alarms and priority services will still be. So alarms and priority stuff will still be active, but something like I had a huge problem where, bloody hell, what's it called? Plex was nuking my battery life. Like, I would fire up my phone from fresh, and if I put it on my bed, like my entire, or like under a pillow or something, and walked away from it, leaving the screen off, it'd be at like 30% battery at the end of the day, having done nothing, no screen time, and like it was like a toaster inside there. Like it was just churning.
This thing is supposed to have what, a day and a half or 2 days of battery?
Yeah.
I get most of a day.
Well, so you've got something installed that's nuking it, and my wife too. Yvonne is running.
I haven't tried to figure it out yet, but I'm sure there is something.
She's running a 1M8, and her battery dies at like 4:30, like every day.
Terran's just walking down the street wearing his helmet.
He's getting his bike out of my car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, don't worry.
I was like, what the hell?
No, he's okay. Everything is okay. Android M will include native support for USB Type-C. So that comes with some special features. So using your device to charge another device would be one, because USB Type-C can both accept and output power. So that's pretty cool.
Yep.
What else we got? New minor features, including improved word selection, copy-paste, and more independent volume controls for alarms, apps, and music. Thank you!
That's cool.
This is something that some skin makers do, but others don't. It drives me crazy. I love the Droid Turbo, but there are a couple of things that super duper make me mad about it. And not having those individual volume sliders easily accessible is definitely one of them. I still don't think it's clear what Android M is going to stand for. I think one of the front runners is what, Marshmallow?
That would make sense. The first thing that came to mind for me was Munchie.
I figured M&M's. But that's just kind of awkward and long. Yeah, it's amazing how quickly we're getting M over Lollipop. Lollipop was a very short-lived Android compared to
Which I'm
KitKat.
okay with.
I am totally 100% okay with that.
I was not a huge fan of Lollipop.
Alright, so there's a bunch of other stuff. So there's more about Google Cardboard. So the new design fits 6-inch smartphones, and the SDK also now supports iOS.
And they talked about how they're going to start moving away from cardboard.
Yeah, that's good, I guess.
Yeah, that's actually quite interesting. Where even are these notes? Oh, they're just not in here.
Yeah, they're not in there. There's way too much. Google I/O is crazy. There's a bunch of stuff for Android Wear. I mean, they've continued to roll out Android Wear features.
I'm trying to keep up with you looking at the actual doc, and I'm like, I don't know where he's getting this
No,
stuff.
there's nothing in there.
Makes sense.
So, like, one example of a relatively new feature is you can flick and then scroll through things if you aren't able to scroll with your hand through your notifications. My G-Watch R charger replacement hasn't actually arrived yet, but Ed has the G-Watch R as well and was telling me. I kind of laughed at him when he showed it to me. I was like, really? You're going to, like, go like this and, like, flick through things like that? He's like, actually, it's pretty handy. Like, you're holding an umbrella or you're, like, holding something and a notification comes in. Boop, boop, boop. Okay.
Anyone other than you that's currently driving?
All right. Yep. I buy it. So, yeah, they've actually got a neat little chart here of Android Wear as it's continued to develop. It's funny because no matter how good Android Wear is, Apple has still sold more of, like, individual SKUs within the Apple Watch lineup as Android Wear devices total.
Yeah.
So, yeah, here you go. You can actually see. So, Wi-Fi came in, always-on apps came in, new launcher happened, emoji recognizer, wrist gestures, Maps API. Lots of stuff came in the May update that I haven't tried yet. So, I'm pretty excited to try that out as soon as my charger gets here. I guess that's probably enough Google I/O for now. How much do you guys care about Google I/O? I think we should revisit the Does Luke Have a Diary straw poll just to get a final tally here. 56% of you figure yes, indeed, Luke does have a diary.
Literally have no physical diary. Was going to do it, then thought of GoPro. Would have definitely done it. I think travel stuff is cool, at the very least. Mm-hmm. Logging what you did in your travels, I think, is very cool.
Okay.
Do you still have your diaries?
Yes, I do.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, they're actually... They would be... Unless I was dead and my house was being cleared out, you probably wouldn't find them. Because they're like... I mean, it's high school, so they're like hyper embarrassing. Like, friggin' brutal.
That makes sense.
Yeah, there's like... There is stuff in there that just... No. That just no.
Were you like, no holds barred, just whatever's going on?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I was like... Because I never intended for anyone to read it, and I was super duper careful that no one ever read it. Because it's like...
Has Yvonne read it?
No. Oh, man. Are you kidding? Okay, I changed my mind. Luke doesn't have a diary, because if he did, he would understand that your wife doesn't read it.
I actually don't. I would have definitely got a travel diary.
I believe you.
I might even still log certain things if I don't get them on the GoPro.
I'm shutting down that straw poll. I'm never going to look at it again because I believe you. All right, so WCCF Tech reports, I posted the link already, that the GTX 980 Ti will launch on June 2nd at Computex. Brings competitive graphics performance to GeForce? What? I didn't even see that. I didn't even see that sub-headline. Like, are you for real? Anyway...
WCCF check.
They're gonna have an event on June the 2nd. It is rumored to be a live stream where they are going to reveal it. This teaser pretty much says what it's gonna be. It'll be yet another card with that damn cooler on it. So Brandon's going to have to figure out the world's most creative way to make yet another identical looking Nvidia card.
You should, like, try to fly it around on a drone and stuff. You should just, like, I don't know.
Like, we're going to just have to start doing aerial footage of them.
Yeah.
To get a different shot from what we had before. You know, if they waited until we moved into our new office, we're getting a jib. So we'd be able to do, like, jib shots. It's like... Now, slightly different shot of what looks exactly the same. It's funny, I was, because, I mean, they teased the graphics card,
Can
right?
you tell if it's silver or black?
It's silver.
Can you tell? Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell it's silver. Yeah. So we were joking about this. We figured, hey, if we don't get a sample in time from Nvidia, we can just do all our B-roll of another Nvidia card. And then, like, whatever. We'll put, like, a text correction. Actually, the capacitors are in slightly different places. We got the real one now. It's a little different. Don't worry about it. Like, straight up. So, blah, blah, blah. It'll be the fastest GeForce 900 series card, aside from the Titan X, which is technically not GeForce.
It brings
GTX
performance to GeForce.
Is it GeForce? Yeah.
So it's got to be the fastest one.
Okay.
Because it introduced performance to GeForce.
Sure. And I don't know how they figure the Titan X sold more than the original Titan and even GTX 690. Maybe they mean in terms of price? Okay, whatever. Apparently, the rumored specifications, so I'll go ahead and fire this up because I
feel like the original Titan sold a lot.
Yeah, because it was more useful as a double precision card. The fact that the Titan X has neutered double precision performance, just like the GeForce cards, really kills it for a lot of developers. The GTX 980 Ti is apparently going to rock a GM200 core. It is a cut-down chip that features 2,816 CUDA cores. Blah, 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 blah. The only site still reporting specifications, aside from the one leaked by Hardware Battle, who have rumored 3,072 cores. Blah, 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 etc., etc., etc. Apparently it'll have 6 gigs of GDDR5 VRAM compared to 12 gigs on the Titan X.
Which is probably fine.
Which is probably on the money compared to the... if we look at GTX 780 Ti versus Titan, which is the most similar comparison we can make, because that's going to be the cut-down, actually flagship core, whereas GTX... GTX 780 was based on the same core. Yeah, but still, Okay, now hold on just a second here.
Was it not?
Yeah, no, 780 Ti. So, no, 780 to Titan is a more similar comparison to what the rumored 980 Ti is to Titan X. Because 780 Ti had all functional units enabled. It lacked double precision, and it didn't have a huge frame buffer.
Yeah.
But it actually had all the functional units. So 980 would be more similar to like a 770. So it's funny the way they do that, where they actually they creep up the model number relative to what the actual under the hood hardware is, which is super annoying. I wish they'd make our lives easier.
Just be like, this is how it slots.
Titan card. That is our top tier GPU. It has everything and a huge frame buffer and double precision maybe. Next step down is the cut down one of that. Yeah. And even that's confusing because the fact that a 980 and a 980 Ti are rumored to be based on completely different GPUs, same Maxwell architecture, completely different GPUs, is pretty irritating and pretty frustrating to me.
It's weird. It should be like Titan and Titan Ti.
They should have just called it 970 and 960 Ti in the first place.
Yeah. And
released the rumored 960 as a 960 then. Which, I mean, was rumored to be coming out ages ago and just straight up never happened. So, I don't know.
Sorry for the yawning. This week has been exhausting. Mainly from Scrapyard Wars.
Yeah, it has been really, really, really tiring. Wait a minute. GTX 960 does exist? Did I just miss this? Hold on a second. When did that come out? Did I just completely derp?
I think I sent you a card that I wanted us to review. A version of a 960.
Did we never do one?
That was the white and red one.
No, this is like totally out. When did this happen? Did we do a video? April 28th?
960 Strix.
We covered this.
We covered a few of these cards.
Wow.
And then I wanted you to do the white and red one from ASUS.
Well, whatever. My point still stands. 960 could have come out later. Oh, that's right, because it was rumored to come out right away. Wow. Guys, I am running on so little sleep. I'm yawning so much. I even hosted one of those videos. I know for sure I hosted one of them. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Wow.
This one, I sent you this and asked if we could review it.
Right, the ASUS white and red 960. All right, well, whatever. My point still stands. Some consistency in the naming scheme with respect to what GPU is actually inside it would be super de-duper nice, NVIDIA. I guess that's pretty much all there is to say about it. 3D Mark Firestrike score is rumored to be around 14,000 points, which puts it within spitting distance of the Titan X and a lot higher than a GTX 980, which is somewhere in the 11,000 to 11,500 range. So there you go, guys. Once again, or not even once again, I don't remember a time they've done this. A TI card is like way better than the non-TI card, whereas the TI was supposed to be like
a little bit of a bump.
Yeah, it's like pro.
It's a little bit better build quality.
And like faster. But not that much faster. Don't worry about it. So yeah, very interesting.
My laptop's lagging again.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll go ahead and fire up the link here. If,
Just the next.
No
one.
problem. I got it. So
you were able to share it before I was able to scroll to it.
Volvo did a demo for a safety feature for a particular car, the XC60, and instead of automatically stopping, it drove into a group of onlookers who were expecting the vehicle to automatically stop. Unfortunately, according to Volvo spokesperson Stefan Elfstrom, and that O with the dots above it, I know that's not how you pronounce it, I give up. The system is not meant to be used in this fashion, and
it's for city safety. It's supposed to avoid rear-enders with other cars, not detecting pedestrians. That system is $3,000 extra and is named the Pedestrian Detection System, which was not in this thing.
So, yeah, it's only about a 30-second long video, so we might as well just...
It's a hilarious
We might as well just cringe, and apparently no one was seriously hurt, so we can sort of... Yeah. So this was at a dealer. So the dealer in question was... Oh, my goodness. Wow. That looks extremely painful.
Yep.
Hey, guys. So the dealer in question was trying to demonstrate the city safety feature, but that system is not able to detect pedestrians because it lacked the optional pedestrian detection system. Now, this is something that is not unique to Volvo. In fact, when we were in Germany working on that video with the BMW 1 Series, BMW specifically said, well, hey, this particular model at this trim level has detection for this and not this, or this and not this. So, I mean, here's a great example. Oh, shoot. I forget what exactly they told me. But it was that, right, it worked for cars and not pedestrians because of something to do with, like, it would, right, because if you're trying to, in a lot of territories, in a lot of places, like, maybe less of an issue in Germany, maybe less of an issue here, but in a lot of places, the only way to turn onto a street when people are just walking across it is to kind of inch your way forward. So they leave the pedestrian detection off because otherwise you'd never move anywhere. And I went, oh, crap, I didn't think of that.
Yeah, me neither. That's not a thing here.
Straight up did not think of that.
Yeah. Wow. That blows.
Yeah.
Look at my...
Yeah, your computer is boned. So...
I'm going to just read here.
Volvo has also said that even if the car was equipped with that system, the driver's foot on the accelerator would have overridden the automated system.
And they state, I would like to emphasize that Volvo Cars strongly recommends to never perform any of these tests towards a real human. Only dummies or similar objects should be used. So they're probably super not stoked with that dealership. Imagine how pissed Volvo head office is at that dealership.
Like, who thought that was a good idea? That's cringe even compared to the Scrapyard Wars series we're about to release, which is
pretty cringe. Oh god, it's pretty cringe.
So, okay guys, I want to this is going to be a good straw poll. This is going to be a good straw poll. Strawpoll.me, because our
Don't forget turnips.
No problem. I got this. Have you heard of the graphics card maker Colorful? Alright, so permissive vote duplication checking. Your poll has been created. Here we go. Have you heard of Colorful? Because our audience is pretty heavily skewed towards Australia, North America, and countries in Europe where they speak a lot of English. Whether we're talking the UK or whether we're talking Germany. Like places where English is very widespread. And Colorful's main territory of strength is not exactly in those places. So I'd love to hear from you guys. Wow, we are not getting many votes for have you heard of Colorful. Do you have this news?
I like
Do you want to do a reboot? What is going on?
I can do a reboot.
There you go.
But I don't know if it's going to
You got notes. There we go. All right. So you want to tell them about Colorful while we watch these votes come in, with over 50% of our viewers saying they have never heard of Colorful. the graphics card maker.
They're kind of fantastic. They're huge, by the way. But anyways, Colorful is a China-based company selling cards in the Chinese market. That is probably all you really need to know, to be completely honest. Colorful started out
I heard there's 1 billion people in China.
and continues to be a vendor of wacky, over-the-top GeForce GTX cards. Palit is the biggest graphics card manufacturer by volume, with a brand portfolio that includes Galaxy, Gainward, Point of View, and its own namesake. Colorful could become the second largest graphics card maker in terms of shipments by the end of the year, next to only Palit, which honestly, a lot of people in those demographics that you were just talking about probably don't know Palit that well either.
Yeah,
I'm sure they know of them, but not that well.
I only know this because I tried to. I was actually the product manager for its palette. I was the product manager for Palette when they tried to expand into North America. But they it was totally unsuccessful and they bailed. But yeah, Palette is huge as well. They have but the problem is that at the time anyway, the people I talked to, they didn't seem to really understand what the North American consumer cared about. Like when I sit down and have a meeting with them, it'd be like, yeah, so we have huge production capacity. And I'm like, okay. Why is a customer going to buy your card? Well, we can supply so many graphics cards. We are the #1 largest graphics card maker. I'm like, right. But why are they going to buy it instead of an EVGA card? Because EVGA is a monster in North America. If it's not EVGA, it's straight up not worth as much for some reason. I can't quite understand it myself. But there you go. And it never really got any further than that. So both of those guys, Palette and Colorful, just have some challenges to overcome before they can. Yeah, I'm going to show this in a minute. Before they can penetrate the markets where most of our viewers are based. It's another one that a lot of people don't realize is as big as it is Tool.
Yeah.
TUL. That's if I recall correctly, that's Power Color, which by the way is different from Colorful. Power Color, I believe, ZOTAC and Sapphire. I think Tool is Sapphire. I don't want to get that wrong, though. I don't remember who Vision Tech is. No. Apparently Tool is... Okay, daughter...
While you search for that, Colorful has been clocking an average of 500,000 graphics cards shipped per month. That's a lot.
Isn't that crazy?
That's insane. Wow. Jeez. Yeah. They're projected to have shipped over 5 million cards in 2015.
Okay, I know ZOTAC and Sapphire are under... They're actually owned by the same products, graphics cards. Tool might just be Power Color.
In terms of graphics cards, Colorful has outsold ASUS, MSI, Gigabyte, and ZOTAC.
Look at that.
Pretty insane.
Yeah, Tool is just Power Color. I derped there. But yeah, so that's something a lot of people don't realize is the brand names that they buy from sometimes don't have a whole ton to do with the companies that are actually making them. So companies like ASUS and Gigabyte and MSI, they make and brand and support their own graphics cards. Someone like EVGA is not a graphics card manufacturer. They design, but they do not actually build graphics cards. They contract out. So anyway, just some idea why Colorful probably doesn't do quite as well in North America as they do in China. That is one of their iGame graphics cards. That's a 660 Ti, and boy, is it ever colorful. There were some, when I was researching them, when I found out they were going to be the biggest maker in the world, I found some other just bananas stuff as well. Look at this thing.
Have you seen their $1,300 GTX 980?
No, I haven't.
Look at how big it is.
Let's see if I can find that one. Is this it? No, that's not it. It's very... Oh, is this it? Yeah, that's it. So that's their $1,300 triple slot GTX 980. So they're just kind of out there in terms of their designs, which is kind of cool. I mean, it's neat to be doing something a little bit different. But I got signed out of my Google account. What the?
iGame.
What the heck?
With a way too expensive 980.
And I have to do my two-step. I guess my 30 days is up or whatever.
Yeah. I liked the rainbow motherboard from MSI back in the day. Looking at that card that you just showed.
Oh, come on now. Motherboard. Both Gigabyte
beautiful.
and MSI were like that.
Beautiful.
MSI 975 motherboard.
Just so attractive.
I think this is probably the era you're thinking of. Oh, no, hold on. No, when did MSI start doing the...
Because there was actually a rainbow board, wasn't there?
No, they didn't have a rainbow board, but they had one that had a roller coaster.
Yeah, the roller coaster was sick.
I'll see if I can find... Here. Okay, yeah, here. Oh, maybe it was Gigabyte. Okay, so this was a hilarious motherboard.
So great.
No, this was MSI. This was MSI. That was what we said. That's what I thought, right? So they did this for a while. This, like, roller coaster of heat pipes thing. Here's another one. Here's a bit of an older one. That's a P35 board. And Gigabyte used to have some just abominable looking motherboards as well. This is probably what you're thinking in terms of like rainbow board,
yeah, I
right?
think that was it, because the RAM slots.
Yeah, look at that. 4 colors of RAM slots.
Green,
different
blue,
colors
pink,
here.
Orange, purple,
Yeah.
blue, light
Orange,
yellow,
green, blue, purple,
copper. That's
black,
a color.
silver, white.
So many different
Oh
colors.
my goodness. That was a cool board though. And we're probably going to see some designs like this again because this was back when DDR3 was first coming out.
And like stuff like this. 4 different colors of slots for adding cards.
Yeah, that's a really old AMD board, that
Yeah.
one that you're looking at.
Yeah.
So we're probably going to see stuff like this again because this was a pretty common thing back when DDR2 or back when DDR3 was first coming out. It was prohibitively expensive. And so you can actually see this board has 2 sets of DDR2 slots, so 4 DDR2 DIMMs or 2 DDR3 DIMMs, because the assumption was if you were buying DDR3, you were not buying 4 sticks of it. So it was supposed to be like an upgrade path. Not that it will make sense this time, not that it made sense last time. Just buy a board that accepts the memory you're putting into it now, and don't worry about that stuff. But the upcoming CPUs from Intel, Skylake, if I recall correctly, is when we're going to actually have support for both DDR2, or both DDR3 and DDR4 on the memory controller. So we'll be able to do apples to apples comparisons, even more apples to apples than we did before, which by the way was pretty apples to apples for the people complaining about my DDR3 versus DDR4 test. And we'll actually be able to do them on the same board. So yeah, DDR3 has really dropped in price lately, hey?
Distribution of clicks for the straw poll geographically.
Oh, they have that?
Apparently.
So United States 48%, UK 12%, Canada 12%, and then it falls off a cliff.
I think it's because Australia's sleeping.
Yeah, Australia likes to watch the WAN show in the morning,
archive.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so
Oh, my computer's locked up. Oh, it's back.
you are just not having a good time.
I don't know
over
what's
there.
going on with this thing.
It's just been a rough week, and I
Yes.
think we just need to...
It's so hot.
I know, it's really hot in here. I'm really looking forward to the new office. I'm really looking forward to the new office. All right, so this is a rumor from Apple Insider. Do you have this,
I'm
or should
gonna
I just do
try.
it? Because I could just do it.
I think I got it.
The original... Oh, the OP here is Dead Hero. And actually, I should find some other OPs, because I haven't been saying them. I'm sorry, guys. Ming for the colorful one. Rahith Kumar SP for the Volvo
Someone
one.
spelt his name wrong when they put this up.
Boozoo for the GTX 980 Ti Rumour. And Alex Goes High, I believe I did mention, and he's doing a great job of maintaining that thread with all the cool
I really
stuff.
like that when someone does show coverage and they keep the thread updated.
Yeah,
That's
Victorious
really nice.
does that a lot of the
with
time
Apple
too.
events.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Microsoft may be rumored to be interested in acquiring Blackberry. So we could have the least relevant phone platform with all the security that Blackberry brings to a phone platform with their expertise and patents and stuff. I would really much rather Apple or Google acquired them straight up, because so many more devices would be able to take advantage of BlackBerry's expertise. Because let's face it, their expertise isn't making phones that people buy.
No.
Their expertise
Security
is mobile
stuff.
device security, and I would love for some of that influence to be on the Android platform, or even iOS, which isn't that bad compared to Android. So there you go.
I kind of liked it.
I'm sorry?
I kind of liked it.
The iPhone?
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
There's things that I made.
Here, why don't you just talk about it? Because you're not going to be doing a review, so we can talk about this rumor, which there's not really much to say. There's a rumor. In fact, why don't I just finish this? Microsoft, likely motivated by a desire to deepen its foray into the mobile enterprise and gain access to BlackBerry's patent trove. Same reason anyone would be interested in BlackBerry.
Yeah.
Chinese technology firms Huawei, Lenovo, and Xiaomi have also expressed interest. No party has taken definite steps towards an acquisition, which basically means this article is fluff.
Yep.
And BlackBerry sold some 1.6 million phones during its fiscal fourth quarter, whereas Apple sold 74.5 million in the same period. 1.6 million phones is not going to keep you in business, BlackBerry. I'm very sorry. I do love you dearly, but I just wish your technology was in a phone platform that I actually want to use. Carry on. Talk about your iOS experience. How long were you on it?
So, a month?
Yeah, okay. First time, right?
Yes. iMessage is great. iMessage just craps all over Hangouts. Like, it's disgusting. iMessage is just so much better.
There's so much crap all over Hangouts, you just don't even want to touch it anymore? That bad, huh? I don't find Hangouts that bad.
But I don't like using Hangouts as a mix.
I don't like it either.
I think
iMessage handles it really well.
is great as just web messaging that is synced with your phone. I think that's really good. But I don't like iMessage to use it for text messaging. So then you have to use messaging as well. And messaging is garbage. So then you have to use some other app. And then that some other app doesn't really work with your smartwatch very well. So then that's a garbage. And it's just frustrating. And then all of the rest of the things that I like about the phone have nothing to do with the fact that it's an iPhone.
Right.
100% to do with the fact that apps are usually made better for the iPhones. Like, Instagram works way better. The Twitter app on iOS is way nicer. Just that. I didn't like how the phone worked in terms of customizability. I didn't like that I can't really mess with my homepage as much as I did before. I don't like that I can't change a lot of things. But iMessage being so good and all the apps being just better developed for iOS was really nice. Mainly because I use Instagram and Twitter a lot.
Right.
And, like, Instagram's huge. Like, this phone, trying to take a picture with it, I'm like, wow, this looks terrible. And then I click the take photo button, and it's like, wow, it looks way better. That's dumb. And then I upload it on Instagram, and I'm like, wow, it looks bad again. What? Like, what do I do? And then on an iPhone, it's like, okay, it looks like this. Press button, okay, it still looks like that. Upload to Instagram, okay, yeah, okay, everything's fine. I don't know.
Yep.
So frustrating.
And I mean, another great example would be Vessel. Vessel still doesn't have an Android app. Why don't they have an Android app? Because whether people like it or not, I don't care.
And is that Android's fault? No, I still really like Android, but it's just, it's nice when you get all the apps.
So if you don't like this, I don't care. It's been tackled again and again and again, and there could be a billion different reasons for why. But iOS users spend more money on apps. They are much more likely to pay for an app. I don't care why. Let's not get into why. Socioeconomic, blah, 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 blah. Don't care.
Someone in the chat was like, doesn't know how to focus. No, that's actually I was making two comments in one. It takes the photo fine. It looks like garbage. And then you take the photo and it looks really good. And I could transfer that onto my computer and it would look fine and everything's good. It's when you upload things to Instagram on Android, it kills the quality.
And this is exactly one of the issues with Android, is someone over there who has a viewfinder whose preview is actually very close to the picture you take is probably telling you don't know what you're doing. But actually,
my Moto X did it fine.
Many Android phones have viewfinders that look very little like the finished picture. My Droid Turbo, for example, not to the same extent, but does have a viewfinder that looks significantly worse than the finished picture. And it's a processing thing, it's an optimization thing, and does it really matter as long as my picture looks good? I guess not.
But it doesn't, because you're uploading to Instagram.
But it's part of the experience, and then that's a different step. That's the Instagram app compression not being handled as well on the Android side.
And it's hard to tell like how good the photo you're taking is until after you take it.
Yeah.
Which is stupid and kind of hurts the experience.
And the other thing is app availability. So if you're developing a paid app or an app for a paid service like Vessel, you're spending all of your time and all of your money developing the iOS one, because whether you guys personally like it or not, I don't care. Apple iOS users are more likely to pay for a service that they're using. So, U.S. government proposes to classify cybersecurity or hacking tools as weapons of war. Isn't the future going to be an interesting time? This was posted by Faisalou, and the original article here is from Beta News. Looks a little something like that.
I'm sharing it right now.
And it's funny because in spite of all the NSA stuff that's happened over the last couple of years and all of the concern that we have about our ongoing online privacy and privacy in general, I mean, you look at what countries like China are doing where they're creating these social merit programs for their citizens where they're just straight up, no, not even hiding it. We are spying on literally everything you do. Don't screw it up.
Which is insane.
I mean,
including like political opinion.
I don't see why most people would need tools for would need intrusion software. Most people shouldn't need that. But let's say, for example, you are a white hat, okay, and you're working on attacking something to find out how to block against an attack.
Testing.
This is absolutely a thing,
yeah.
And so how does the law get amended to account for that? Because let's face it,
if you can't penetration test your own system, you're going to be sitting duck.
And the guys who are going to break the law are going to break the law. The guys who are out there trying to siphon tens of millions of dollars from bank accounts or whatever it is that they're trying to take advantage of. What was the one where it was taking pennies off of transactions in flight? That must have been about a year ago or something like that.
Yeah, isn't that the storyline of Office Space too?
I can't remember.
But like, I think it happened. I'm just saying, yeah.
But anyway, are these guys really going to be deterred by, well, I guess on top of the millions of dollars we're stealing, we'll also own a weapon of war? I mean, it might deter the average, high school kid who wants to just, be a dork script kiddie and attack something. But it just seems kind of like tightening the fist so much that the sand
defines a
slips
hacking
through.
tool?
Yeah.
Can you just generally classify a whole bunch of different distributions of Linux as hacking tools? Because they get used for that?
So the new definition of intrusion software is a tool which is capable of extraction and or modification of data or information from a computer or network-enabled device.
But like, there's distributions of Linux, I don't remember what it's called, but there's distributions of Linux that you use for attacking routers. But you can use it for backtrace? I don't know, whatever. Moving on.
Alright, so OP here is Twisted Dictator, and the original article is from Polygon. Do you have this link?
Yeah, it seems to be working a little better now.
Oh, alright. It kind of pulled things together here. So there has been a Star Citizen leak! So you can see the future of Star Citizen thanks to a leak.
Okay, it didn't pull together enough.
Oh, you didn't manage to post the link yet?
I did, but the site's not really loading.
Go, 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 go! Yay, internet! So we can see some ships.
Pendule Stinger.
Sick, eh?
Wow.
Look how gorgeous that looks.
I want this game to be a thing!
With the very limited rendering options in the graphics setting and stuff right now, you can't even turn it up to look this good. I mean, look at that. Look at the shadows! Look at the illumination! Like, parts of
Wait, what? This isn't in-engine?
Yeah, this is an engine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can obviously turn it up to look that good. This is user leaked.
You can't even run anti-aliasing.
Is this not user leaked?
No.
What?
Because that looks like we've got some
It was
AA.
a 50 gigabyte, it was a 48 gigabyte download.
Hold on a second. Leaked by community manager.
Yeah, he accidentally leaked part of a URL. Someone guessed the rest of the URL, and it was a download that was 48 gigabytes.
Some of the leaked material could include story spoilers, guys, so if you don't want any information on the Squadron 42 storyline before you play it, you probably shouldn't do anything. So the download had a lot of different things. Assets, people extracted them, and then basically put them in engine. So there you go, guys. We were looking at stuff that isn't in the game, but can be kind of hacksaw in there.
Yeah, so someone recorded that, so that looks that good on a user's computer.
I didn't even think, because I thought it has no support for AA, and that looked really sharp.
But haven't you played in Engine already?
Yeah,
it looks
I have.
really sharp without AA anyways.
Oh, sorta.
And you still have some issues here.
Okay, you're right. Now that I've blown it up full screen, it doesn't look quite as impressive as it did before. It still looks pretty good, though.
Yeah, and the one thing is there's a lot more thin and dense, what is, I don't remember what it's called, but when there's like lots of stuff there, there's a lot more of that on this ship than most of the ships I've got. But.
Very cool. So it turns out they are actually working on it. So that's good.
Yeah. Videos are rendered in Engine, yeah.
Alright, so Google files patent...
Oh, in Engine, not in real time.
Okay, there you go.
That probably helped it.
Google files a patent for a smart teddy bear that would watch and listen to users. So this was posted by Annihilation. That's kind of a funny username for that particular post. On the forum. Let's go ahead and pop this up. The original article was on the Mirror. And apparently that one's gone now. Yay! Sorry, we cannot find that page. Let's go ahead and globalnews.ca also
like
has
that
it.
One works. Yay, Canada!
Okay.
We talked about creepy petty bears? Ooh, that went somewhere worse.
Wow. Alright, so it describes a stuffed toy, such as a bear, that would be able to control devices like TV and music players. So look how creepy this drawing is. Microphones.
Oh, God.
Cameras. Speakers. Motors. World's creepiest toy. So using sensors and cameras, it could sense your presence and turn its head around to look at you. With a passphrase, it could activate and you could voice control stuff. The patent filing was published last week, but they actually applied for the patent back in 2010. And Google's only real statement was, we hold patents on a variety of ideas. That's one way of putting it. Some of those ideas later mature into real products or services, some don't.
So it doesn't sound like they're super confident.
Yeah, I suspect it's going to be a while before anything like that happens. However, like in that form, like... You know, like Chucky style, it's going to be a while before we see anything like that. But it's not like...
Imagine a Furby that also recorded everything you did. Like, you know how creepy people thought the Furbies were?
Yeah?
Yeah, so think about a Furby that also records everything.
I mean, is the idea really that different from this bad boy right here? I forget what this thing's called, but I remember we talked about it on the... we talked about it on WAN show. Oh, you don't even want to see... He's showing me his hair is all, like, matted down from his watch. Like, mine's, like,
No, but
perma.
mine's wet.
Yeah. Oh, well, my whole arm's wet. That's why you can't tell. Okay, so what is this bloody thing called? Creators of the Cognitoy. Yeah, that's the one. So this is the dinosaur that uses IBM's supercomputer to answer questions that you ask it and learn over time and stuff like that. So, you know, is Google's idea really... Is putting a camera and a microphone and speakers on it really that far away? I think this one already has a microphone and speakers. It just doesn't have a camera. So smart toys are going to be a thing. I don't know that I want it to be like my TV remote, you know? And that was kind of covered by the Google patent. But then again, I guess you go ahead and patent something early enough and you don't even have to be the one who builds it and you can still benefit from that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Microsoft manages to cut the bandwidth required for cloud game streaming by over 80%. This was posted by Victoria's Secret. The original article here is from geek.com. Do you have the link here?
Yeah.
This is a really big deal because the two main hurdles for cloud-based gaming, number one is going to be latency. As fiber connections roll out, that will become less of an issue. As companies get serious about their cloud gaming services, they will start to roll out more hubs, so there will be a much better chance that you're close enough to a center, to like a render center, in order to play the game. But number two is data limits. I mean, you talk to gamers, and many of them are still buying physical media because their download limit is so
50 gigabyte
small.
games are a thing. I personally know people that bought Witcher 3 because they're like, well, I'll go over my bandwidth cap, so I bought a physical copy.
Straight up. So game streaming is a way that your game's bandwidth use can be the gift that keeps on giving. Every time you play it, you are downloading more. But instead, And it's funny. The article points out you'd think someone like Sony would be more concerned with this. Actually, I would have expected Nvidia to be on top of something like this, but basically what it does is it actually uses the power of the game console or tablet or other device on the other side to do some of the rendering.
And why would you expect Sony to be more on top of this when Microsoft has been talking about this since before the Xbox came out?
Yeah.
This has been the golden ticket that never showed up.
For the Xbox One.
Yeah.
So basically, the local machine will do some of the work, while the heavy lifting can be done on a remote machine.
Local GPU will do a rough sketch, essentially.
And then the server still does shadows, texture mapping, and fine-grained details. Very, very cool, and it makes a huge difference to the amount of data required to stream a game without impacting how the game plays. So they used it on Doom 3, streamed at 60 FPS with, and this is based on the article, so we haven't seen it, with no discernible difference between streaming with and without Kahawai or whatever they're calling this bandwidth reduction tool. It's the Hawaiian word for stream apparently, but I don't know how to pronounce that. So.
Apparently there is also no noticeable differences in response times, but again, we were not the ones that tested this.
I mean, if Microsoft's plan all along was to have the Xbox One basically capable of competing with the PlayStation 5 or something like that, where they could really stretch out that life cycle by doing cloud-based rendering, who knows? Maybe in 5 years or 8 years, we're going to be going, holy crap, did they ever have the right idea with the Xbone?
They're taking their sweet freaking time with it, but yeah, that could be really interesting. That was by Victoria's Secret. I don't know if we called that out or not.
Yeah, yes, I did.
Also, someone in the chat, when we were talking about smart toys, posted smart dildo with a whole bunch of Kappa faces. If you don't think those exist, you're crazy. Anyways.
There's a tech tip for you.
Moving on.
Just the tip.
Intel AMD form new cross-license graphics included?
Yeah, so they've got a new cross-licensing agreement. Basically, AMD has clarified it. A change of control terminates the agreement for both. So I think this is more in Intel's interest than anyone else's. But if AMD were to be acquired, that would be a change in control. So if Samsung, for example, were to acquire AMD, which is one of the rumors that's been floating around about an AMD acquisition, the cross-licensing agreement where AMD and Intel won't pursue patent infringements against each other, that allows AMD to produce x86 processors, so the kind that runs Windows that goes in computers, that would be terminated. Okay? So that's pretty much it. I mean, AMD and Intel cooperate on a much deeper level than most people probably realize. And
developing standard things is super important.
Yeah. I mean, if we lived in a world where we had different applications for AMD processors or Intel processors, well, we'd basically, well, it's just funny. I was about to say we'd have the same kind of divide between AMD and Intel users as we have between Mac and PC users, except we kind of do. Sad face. Speaking of things that we kind of do sponsor spots.
Nice.
Dollar Shave Club is one of our sponsors today. And for those of you who don't know what Dollar Shave Club is,
they are the reason why my beard doesn't go down to here.
Good for you.
It would, actually.
It would. I believe you. So Dollar Shave Club is the way for a few bucks a month, if you live in the US, Canada, New Zealand, or Australia, get high-quality razors delivered directly to your door, and their marketing materials are actually hilarious. Have you ever had a look at the actual cards and stuff that's written in your packages?
To be completely honest, no.
It's hilarious. They just have the quirkiest sense of humor ever.
Some really awesome writer.
So they've got all kinds of different stuff, up to the 6-blade executive razor. They've got their One Wipe Charlie's peppermint scented butt wipes for men. They've got their aftershave.
Dr. Carver.
They've got their Dr. Carver shave butter, which goes on clear so you can see what you're doing while you're doing it. And pretty much Dollar Shave Club is one of our longest standing sponsors, and I don't think we've ever gotten a negative comment about them.
No.
Straight up. I have never seen someone say, Linus, you told us Dollar Shave Club was good. I joined the Dollar Shave Club and they killed my mother. I have literally never gotten a message like that or anything negative. Never mind the mother killing.
That's probably good.
So dollarshaveclub.com/Linus to join the club and start shaving time and shaving money. Speaking of money. Massdrop, a place where you can buy not razors. See how we have non-conflicting sponsors there? Yeah. Although Massdrop does have just a metric buttload of stuff.
Yeah.
So today
at dro.ps/wanshow.
I'm going to show you guys this. This is a Ducky Shine 4 special community edition. You can see they wanted 100 sold, and this blew so many people away that 281 of them, I believe they are, go away.
That's the layout that I want.
281 of them were sold for $169.99. Now that is a pretty darn expensive little number. But this is a pretty darn fancy little keyboard. So the community and Matt30 designed the next special edition Ducky Shine 4 with the stipulation that the keyboard would have multiple switches. So the silent feeler layout with Cherry MX clears and Cherry MX browns was the winner. So you'll have your choice of laser engraved blue and gray PBT keycaps or blank blue and gray PBT keycaps, and the drop is limited to 500 units. Yeah, boy.
That is so sick.
So pretty much the rundown on Massdrop is all kinds of stuff like this. They'll get community-sourced deals. They'll source things from manufacturers directly themselves. And the way it works is the more people buy, the more everyone saves. They've got everything from, I think I've got a knife that we got from Massdrop. Yeah. They had that weird head pillow that we showed off on the WAN show before, where you just put it around your head and then you just lay on things to sleep. I think it's around here somewhere.
I should take it to Taiwan.
If you just want to kind of shop for kitschy cool stuff, Massdrop.com, or if you are interested in that Ducky Shine deal particularly, dro.ps/wanshow. And then our last sponsor of the day. These guys never go away. They just keep making people's websites better for a very reasonable charge. Squarespace.com. It starts at $8 a month with scalable, beautiful website templates, whether you want to do a blog, a store. I always use the same examples. Let's come up with other websites people could build.
A conspiracy info site?
Yes.
If you were like...
a dog dating site.
Like, GTX 480s don't melt steel beams. You could make a website about that.
You could make a website like that. You could make an online profile for your dog for dating purposes. You could make not for you to date the dog. For your dog to date.
That's what
people breed dogs. Is it any different from
like
dog
a
dating
thing? You have a profile like I like hikes and sniffing butts.
Some people date just for the action.
It could be like things that I enjoy, and then just like a column of food and like a column of butts.
Gnawing on this thing I love.
A whole column of partially opened doors with like a shoe coming through.
So Squarespace makes your site responsive, both in terms of how quickly how quickly you can navigate on it because it's hosted over on Squarespace's servers, as well as responsive in terms of responsive design. So it looks great on a phone, it looks great on a larger screen, or whatever the case may be. And regardless of your skill level, so if you're very entry level, you can just do it all pretty much through a GUI. And if you're a little more advanced, then you can start to tinker with things. You can go ahead and build the site that you want to build. And when you decide to sign up for Squarespace, when you abandon that WordPress site or whatever it is you're using now, guys, use offer code Linus to save 10% on squarespace.com. That applies to if you buy an entire year at a time, you will get 10% off that entire whack. Not to mention that if you buy an entire year at a time, you get your domain name thrown in for free. So if it's one that's available, like a regular price domain, they will throw that into your yearly subscription.
Squarespace, build it beautiful.
Thank you for that.
I got it.
All right, so what else do we got here?
We've got...
There must be other things.
Witcher 3 tweak tool.
Oh, yeah.
So we were kind of like talking about how they were going to do cool stuff. Is this from them officially? Or is this someone else releasing this?
Okay, so the original poster here was Blue 4, And the
Or
original site here is dsogaming.com.
Wow,
I have to skip.
I had two
I
of
have
them.
never seen that before.
2 of them?
Yeah, I had to skip
Yeah.
2 full-page
Yeah.
takeover ads.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
I think they know a lot of people are looking at this article.
Must-have tool gives you easy access to extensive options. So while CD Projekt Red did give gamers the ability with the latest patch to go into the INI files and tweak a bunch of settings, Modder Melektaus, I'm not even going to try, has released a configuration tool that allows you to easily gain access to numerous graphics options without doing text editing. Very, very cool stuff. It includes support for SweetFX, and you can basically download it here. Did you post this link in the Twitch chat?
I did. It looks really nice. I think it's pretty
Actually,
cool.
we've got to look at the funny thing is, it looks about the same as the actual configuration options for a lot of games that I've seen. So you can do things like change object count trigger. Wow, there's wow. Maximum visibility depth, sharpening amounts, everything. You guys can play around with it all you freaking want. Very cool.
Rhinus.
Yeah, have fun indeed.
Doing that thing.
I'm not doing that thing.
You kind of are.
No, I'm using whatever settings you're using.
Oh, it's not ready.
Oh. Well, I'll figure it out then. I'm probably not going to tinker with this too much.
Yeah.
To be perfectly honest.
You probably don't have to use that at all.
Okay.
Backtrack 5 was the Linux OS distribution that I was talking about a long time ago that most people aren't going to know this reference for, but anyways, moving on.
This is hilarious. This was posted by Twisted Dictator. The original article here is from The Verge. Chinese tech exec spends $100 million to create Star Trek-inspired offices.
That's awesome.
This is the stupidest thing ever.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
We're talking about it.
That's true. We're talking about it because it's ridiculous.
So, what if someone's like, I don't like my job. I want to go work in a space station that happens to be on the ground and can't go to space.
And doesn't even look that much like the Starship Enterprise.
Just like vaguely a similar shape, not even the same.
Like if I didn't tell you that's the USS Enterprise.
Did
I just put an extra S in there? Man, I'm tired.
USSS. I wouldn't be too surprised if I was like, it kind of looks like a similar shape. But I wouldn't be like, that is the Enterprise. Because, I don't know, there's problems. Like, isn't the height differential not even like that?
Yeah, no, it's like
aggressive?
It's like a it's like a mushed Enterprise. It's like if the Enterprise crashed.
It's like
by falling from the sky.
On.
Did you just search for USS Enterprise and it came up with a naval ship? That's really a more common search.
Oh, I missed an S.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, because okay, and like it doesn't have the bottom thing. Wow, lagging. There we go.
There we go. So we'll pull up some images of the Starship Enterprise.
See, aircraft carrier was the first thing.
That's
and
true.
Right there.
That's true. What is that? I don't know what this one is. I actually, you know what? Probably the only one I would recognize just by looking at it is the Next Generation one. I don't even see it here. Wow.
Either way, I think there's more height differential, and there's a thing below it, which is obviously not being shown. And, like, the big saucer part is supposed to just be kind of connected by, like, a little thing.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's Next Generation, right?
I don't know.
Maybe not. I was never much of a Trekkie.
I was probably a much less than you were.
No,
I never watched
really.
TV.
Right.
I've seen maybe one episode of Star Trek. Sorry for people that now hate me.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
My dad really liked it. But then I never watched TV. So I've just never really seen it.
Have you seen, like, the new movies?
I've seen one of them, I think. I also don't watch that many movies. I'm slowly getting into it. Like, I'm trying to catch up on things that I missed when I was a kid by watching Netflix and watching all these other stuff.
Because they're better than The Hobbit, and you saw all 3 of those.
Well, my family's always been really hardcore into Lord of the Rings, because I read the books.
Right.
Yeah.
I see.
We were never really a hardcore, like, TV and movies family.
How fascinating.
I'm trying to catch up on things, and I'm sure I'll end up watching Star Trek. But it's just, like, yeah, going through the motions. The chat hates me right now.
I'm just
being honest. I could lie and be like, that's the ship. But that would just be stupid.
Do we have any other rapid fire stuff? Oh, Amazon expands their same day
God.
delivery. What's up?
Text message that shuts off people's iPhones.
Oh yeah, that's pretty
hilarious.
funny.
Oh my god.
Who posted that?
Surnumbers.
Surnumbers. This was posted by Victoria's Secret. Amazon has expanded their same-day delivery. So orders submitted by noon will arrive by 9 p.m. that day.
Holy
so the regions
crap.
previously allowed New York, Philadelphia, San Francisco, Seattle, Atlanta, Boston, Baltimore, Dallas, Fort Worth, Indianapolis, Los Angeles, Phoenix, and Washington, D.C. And it has now been expanded to San Diego and Tampa Bay. The price is now free on orders over $35 for Prime customers. Holy balls. And so Prime's $100 a year. And it was previously a flat fee of $5.99 for all Prime customers. Non-members will continue to pay $9 plus $1 per unit when requesting same-day delivery. This is separate from Prime Now, which is 1-hour deliveries in New York City, Miami, Baltimore, Dallas, Atlanta, and Austin to Prime members for $7.99.
1 hour delivery.
Holy
How
balls.
does that even work?
Amazon is a machine,
how
man.
do you move that quickly?
Amazon is a machine. This was posted by Aming.
If one country, if one company was to say like 100 years from now, corporations are essentially countries at this point because we're getting close to that anyways. Like if someone had to run the whole world, who would you think would do it best?
I have always said, I can't pick one because I'm going to stick to my guns. This is what I've always said. A Costco and Amazon merger would take care of everything I could ever need.
Yeah. If I had to pick one, I was saying Amazon.
You'd go Amazon? Costco?
No, I was saying likeliness.
Costco has
not
better
preferred.
ethics.
Not
Oh, I
preferred.
see. Okay.
Yeah. I would prefer Costco ran everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, ginormous jar of pickles for all!
Yeah. Everyone would be paid well, but there wouldn't really be a lot of variance in like what you get to eat and stuff.
Yeah.
But
Which
you'd
I'm
have
okay
a
with.
lot of it.
You'd have time.
Everyone would have like an industrial jar of pickles.
Yeah. An industrial jar. What industry uses pickles? Shut up. Oh, well, food industry. Shut up! It's been a long week.
I'm just like, what? Well, you know those like giant jars of pickles that we have.
I know what you meant by industrial
And,
jar
like,
of pickles. I hate you.
Every week you'd get like 2 of those like giant trough boxes of chicken. Like
a trough box?
what
Okay,
I call
somebody please invent the trough box, okay? So this has to be a
go
takeout...
to Costco and check
No,
out their chicken.
no. It's a takeout container in the shape of an elongated bowl with a lid on it, right? But it's like, it like folds at the bottom like and has like a little wire handle like a Chinese takeout box. So you take off the handle and like maybe it folds down to the bottom so it doesn't drip through or something, and that is the trough box. You literally work your way across and shovel the food into your mouth. Trough box, you're a genius. All right, so Google Maps, Chrome, and YouTube offline support extended in a big way. Google Maps is a huge one for me.
Yeah.
It is such a pain in the ass to deal with when you're traveling and you don't have a roaming data plan or something. It's like, well, if I could just load a bunch of this up on Wi-Fi and then maybe it would somewhat work in bippity boopity. Like
Hold up, I'm going to pause you for a second.
They're
Someone in the
workarounds
Twitch
'cause they're all
chat
pain.
just said, you two are so stupid it's unreal. You have not seen Scrapyard Wars 2 yet.
Wow, it is a whole other level of unreal.
You have no idea.
Your reality will collapse. The reality you already have will be gone. What else can I really even say?
That's cool though.
So the new version of Chrome and Android will allow you to save a web page for offline viewing. Cool.
We'll include turn-by-turn directions offline. Wow.
YouTube will allow you to keep a video saved offline for 48 hours and will be available to all Android 4.4 devices or higher in the near future. And Maps will have an offline mode. You will have to download the maps you choose to use offline, but come on, how did this take so long? How long has Nokia had this? So frustrating. But that'll be coming sometime later this year. ZOTAC, and apparently you requested a sample of this, right?
Is that
For
in
review?
This? Is that in this news article? Is the
No, not
one
that.
I
No.
really
No. Titan X. You requested a sample of the Titan X with the Arctic
Yes.
Storm. Okay. Titan X with an aftermarket cooler with a non-reference cooler.
I super want it, and I'm so happy this exists. And I told you about this, but because on the Titan X video, when I'm like, oh, I really hope that someone makes an aftermarket cooler, and everyone was like, you're such an idiot, they'd never do that for Titans, rah! But like, I'm thinking this one is way hotter average running temperature than all the other ones, so it's possible. Thank you, ZOTAC, for doing such a thing. So I'm trying to get them to send me one. I actually recommend, if you want to see our video on how good it is, go after ZOTAC. And be like, hey, send Linus Tech Tips a freaking card so that they can bench it.
The Arctic Storm is a hybrid cooled card, so it actually has both air and liquid cooling.
So it has threads, I believe.
Yep. So this is very similar to the ASUS Poseidon. I believe they did a 980 Poseidon? Or was it a 700 series?
I don't remember.
780? 780. It was a GTX 780 Poseidon.
He didn't remember 960s existed. Yes, there's a Poseidon 980.
Oh, okay. Is there a 782?
I think so.
Help me.
I think so.
Please confirm for me, because my brain might have completely fallen out my ear while I was sleeping last night. Okay, good. So there's a 780 Poseidon. This has been done before. Cooler Master had a cooler that went on the GTX, or the 8800 GTX, or 8800 Ultra way back in the day. Forget what that thing was called. I reviewed it for Hardware Canucks. So it's not a new concept by any stretch, but very cool stuff. AMD has an It's Coming teaser. I feel like we're just shoveling coal into the hype machine at this point, but we might as well just show you guys what's here.
I'm trying to catch up on the links, guys. We're just bouncing all over the place, and it's hard to keep.
So this was posted by Epic Ponage, and basically it's a graphics card, for those of you who didn't clue into that. If any of the rumors circulating are correct, it'll be some kind of 390 series graphics card.
You mean those rumors that have been circulating for like 6 months?
Ever since
my god.
AMD started them.
Yeah.
It's like, we have no response to 980. What should we do? Let's tell people to wait for 390X. All I can say, AMD, is if you're gonna do that, if that's gonna be your strategy, it better be good. I got no problem with the hype machine if you come through for me.
Can you tell the story again?
Which story? I'm not gonna... come
on! I want to go to sleep.
No.
Bedtime story?
Wow. Speaking of going to sleep, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. And this show is going to sleep. I'm sorry there will be no after party today because I gotta bail. I got some stuff to do. He's got some stuff to do. It's been a heck of a week. Thank you very much for tuning in. All over 6,000 of you. You guys are awesome. We'll see you again. Same bat time, same bat channel. Except he won't be here.
Yeah.
Because he'll be in Taiwan. I don't think that's realistic.
Is it?
I don't know. It depends what time it is.
What time it is?
Hold on. Well,
I have no idea.
6 a.m. is 3 p.m. the previous day. So 6 p.m. would be 3 a.m. the previous day. So it would be like 1:30 in the morning the previous day. I don't think that makes a ton of sense.
I usually stay up till like 4 when I'm at shows. It'll depend on the day. I'm not going to guarantee it. If you get another guest, then sure. But if you don't have another guest, I can probably...
Maybe I'll bring on Austin without broken audio. And I'll show you right up. All right.
That wasn't even my fault.
Peace, guys. Peace, guys.
I'm sorry, Austin. Oh.
I was really worried we were dropping frames at the beginning. And I was like, oh, yeah, the YouTube upload.
Oh.
But we haven't dropped a frame since then. Oh, my goodness. It's so hot in here. It's, like, straight horrible.
I'm happy to see that people are tweeting ZOTAC to send me that card. Thanks for watching, guys. Thank you to SquareSpace and Massdrop, if it goes up there. Yeah, and Dollar Shave Club. They all have different looking title cards. Thanks, everyone. Bye.